Oh, YouTube fans, here again. I remember doing verses a couple of weeks ago. I remember doing it. And I figured, what the fuck? Why not do it all over again, being verses? I remember doing this once, and that was when I was just doing a comparison at the time. That being Jaws Fee in 3D and Jaws The Revenge, which is a snooze fest. And I'm doing a comparison. But in all fairness, there's no comparison. Jaws fucking Fee in my 3D chassis nails it to the done. Granted, I look at Jaws Fee or Jaws 3D, whatever you want to call it, as, how can I put it? I look at it as a time waster. Is it as much of a chassis as the original Steven Spielberg one? The original? No. Is it as good as the unestimated sequel? No. But what I do like about it is it's a time waster and it's hard to do something different. It went off not into basics, but it tried to do something different. Now, at the time, being the early 80s, and at the time being 1983, there was a lot of movies in 3D. One year before that, you had Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. You've had one year after being Annabelle, the third Annabelle film, being in 3D. There's a lot of 3D gimmicks around in the early 80s. So, Jaws 3 decided, why not do this one in 3D? Now I do know the tide to get Roy Sider to prize his role, and he did not want to do it. He was all right doing the second one. He did not want to be in the third one, and instead he decided to do the movie Blue Thunder. But in all fairness, said and done, that was done in one way because you've had another damn good actor, a very unestimated actor, I should say. That being Teffy Chade. I love Teffy Chade. He is the highlight of this film. So is Teffy James Jr. Teffy Chade is the highlight of the film. He is. Now let's get a damn good opening. You've got the underwaters like you did in 1 and 2. Don't get fucked up there, 1 and 2. You get this face, you get the idea it's been eaten, you got the head in 3D, and then 3D feet, Doors feet, fires out at you. What do you get in Doors the Snooze Fest, The Revenge? It has the copy from the original. It's got a shitty version of the Jaws theme, and it's just a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. Now people think that Jaws 3D was OTT. Did they really watch Jaws the Revenge? Did they watch Jaws the Snooze Fest Revenge? And I call it that. I do know originally they were going to do Jaws the Revenge in 3D and the gimmick went bye bye. Even if the film was in 3D, it wouldn't save the film. It wouldn't. It wouldn't. And if people thought it was OTT, the book version of Jaws Revenge, which believe it or not, they was going to make a movie of it, was going to be about a voodoo doctor. Listen to this, you're not hearing things. A voodoo fucking doctor who resurrects the Jaws from the original to get revenge on the Bodhi family. I'm not making this shit up. I couldn't if I tried. That was the original fucking book. Van Fort told they altered it to the film, make it totally different. But even though it's such poor writing, you got Michael Caine, one of my favourite actors of all time, and in this, it's just Michael Caine. It's Michael Caine on a fee fucking holiday. And when I say that, it's because Michael Caine got a big dollop of money and he wanted a fee holiday on the Bahamas. And he got it. He got a fee holiday on the Bahamas and he doesn't preserve it because he's just not. He's acting. He's not there. It's just Michael Caine on a few fucking Jews on a few holiday. He is. He is. Joss fucking Fee. You got Tevin Chade, really damn good actor, unestimated actor, playing Seth's work. Right, friends, yeah. Seth Boldy's son, and this town does things differently. It's like this woman, she's trying to save the five mental families, she's trying to save the Sark. You get two Sarks for the price of one in this third one. And this did it better than what it did in Jaws the Revenge, because it tries to do it in Jaws the Revenge, but does it missably. You got this guy trying to play a Rastafarian, and he's not Rastafarian. He's as much of a Rastafarian than me being a fucking Australian. He really is. His acting fucking sucks ass. It sucks asses. He can't act to save his fucking life. The Rastafarian sucks ass. Then you've got, how many death scenes did you get in the third one? How many? Loads, loads. To me, my fucking eyes, this The third one was more violent than the other two. It was more bloodthirsty than the other two. And I keep forgetting that in America, this was a PG-13. In the UK, I don't think why the fuck was this PG. And I do know on theatrical TV, they cut some of it down. Happy to say now you can see it in its uncut form. I mean, Jaws fucking feed, what do you get? You get Jaws feed, you get a die getting eaten up by a fucking shark. A die in a shark's fucking mouth getting digested alive. What do you get in Snooze to Revenge? I call it Snooze for a lot of reasons. You get one death scene. Originally going to be Roy Sider, and he would reprise his role. Because he didn't, decide to kill his youngest son off. Nice. After all that shit he went through in Jaws fucking 2 and Jaws fucking 3D or Jaws 3, whatever you want to call it, he gets his arm bit off and then he gets eaten up. Right? You get another death scene. You got a deer on a boat dinghy. The shark comes out, bites. I mean, it's like fishes, but compared to Jaws fucking 3, not really. I always thought the Rastafarian got killed, but he didn't because he comes back halfway through the film. How? I don't fucking know. And that's about it. That is about the death scenes you will get in Snooze to Revenge. After the movie is boring. It's fucking a chore to sit through. You might as well paint the wall pink. You might as well paint it pink, blue, with little pink spots on because that's more entertainment than the fucking film. Watching it dry is probably more entertaining than this film. This film is so fucking boring that sit there waiting for your coffee or cup of tea to cool down is probably more entertaining than this fucking film. This film is a chore to sit through. It's just it's boring. It feels more like a fucking drama than a film. And I'm thinking from the most successful films of all time, and this is like a fucking bore. This is a bore fest. Jaws 3. You got date music, like that fence theme. Now you got the music from Jaws itself, bum 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 bum. Every 2 minutes you got a scene where sharks bite someone and you got the arm floating along. The bit I just said, the shark eating someone. You've got it all. You got fucking Tiffin Shade. Now I do know when he snoozed the revenge. He didn't want to do it. He did a film called Into Space, which to me is a better fucking film. And I can see why Tiffin Shade didn't appear in Snooze the Revenge. I'm not going to call it Jaws. It's an insult on its name. It's an insult on its name. So you get fucking another actor. This actor, you think you've seen him before. He appeared in The Last Starfighter. And he also appeared in Halloween 2. I'm looking for it on DVD somewhere. But fuck it. He appeared in Halloween 2. And it's the same. It's the same because this fucked up his career as an actor. He never appeared in anything after this shit. And I can see why. And it's the same. Because he's only highlighting the film is him. The time make it based it like the original, and it sucks. No Roy Sider, no Jaws. You bring back the wife, who for some reason has become the lead, miserably. And how does the shark get killed? I know there's 2 versions of Snooze the Revenge. There's one where the shark just blows up, and one where the fucking wife of Brody rams a fucking spearboat in it, and for some reason blows up, and it's roaring like a fucking dinosaur. If people think Jaws 3 was over the top, the size of it, it's built like a fucking house, and it's roaring at people underwater, they should really watch this film. Don't watch this film, it's boring. But it's fucking roaring like a fucking dinosaur. It stood up on its fucking tail. It looks fucking laughable, and it's roaring, and it looks more fake than 1 and 2, and even the third one. It really does look fucking fake. It does. And the mum's having fast bats of the original. How I don't know, because she was never even in the boat with Roy Sider when they went after it in the original. She's having fast bats, a lot of memory lane, and like I said, 2 versions, it blows up. Now in Jaws 3D, that made more sense. It made more sense because there's a bomb stuck in its mouth and the one it's just eating, right? And Stephen Jay's got his fucking deep sea diver shit and everything, and he pulls the trigger off it and it blows up. Yeah, it blows up 3D style. And I've got to admit, some of the 3D now is a bit dated. But I don't know. I don't know. To me, that has a charm. I like the 3D gimmicks. It has a fucking charm. And the fact that they had to do something different. And Jaws to Revenge tried to copy things from the original. And people say it's better than the original. What the fuck are they smoking? It's nowhere near as good as the original. It's not a tassie. You get a few farty deaths. You kill off Wysider's son, which I feel was in poor taste. Poor taste. So this is what I fucking did for Snooze the Revenge. 0. A fucking big fat 0. Because there's nothing at all good about this, whatever version you see. Joss fucking Fee in 3D. I give it that. It's a time waster. I respect it to add to something different. The 3D as a time, fuck it, I'd be generous. A 4-star rating, right? Snooze the Revenge. Fuck all. Because it never needed to be fucking made. Michael Tade is just there for a paycheck and a theology in the Bahamas and it souls. The only bit of entertainment in it is a bit where he's having a ball and he falls in water, all his shirt's fucking wet, and the next minute it's all fucking dry. You got died in the worst Rastafarian accent I've ever fucking heard in my life. Stick to 1. Stick to 2. Stick to 3D if you want to see how it's done differently. Snooze the Revenge. If you've got problems sleeping, then yeah, okay. But if not, avoid it like an STD. Into them, be smart, be fast, be safe. That was fucking my brain. Say it again. Be smart, be safe. See you later.